Welcome back to GehLekTeks How to Tech. Another tutorial episode. This is gonna be a very special one because we're going to do something which is a lot of people's favorite sound, I think, in techno and generally in electronic music. It's the 303 sound or the acid sound. So we're gonna make acid lines today. And we're gonna do two different types of acid-like sounds with 3x oscillator. Again, we know this plugin by now. And then we're also gonna be using transistor bass. Now the big difference here is that 3x oscillator is of course included in every version of FL Studio, I think. I think it's even included in the starter edition, in the Fire edition. I'm not sure about that though. The transistor bass, however, isn't even included in the signature bundle. So if you want to make the acid lines with transistor bass, you're either going to have to buy the plugin, or you can use it even though your version doesn't have it. You just can't save the MIDI data and the plugin data. So if you manage to get the sound you want in one sitting, you can use an instance of Edison, as is running in the background to record my voice right now, to record what you made with the plugin you don't own, and then you at least have the audio file of the sound you wanted to make. But everything you make in here with transistor bass is going to be deleted if you haven't bought the plugin, and it's one plugin only that can only produce one sound, and for that it's pretty expensive. It's like 70 euros. I think it's a bit steep, but yeah, let's just start. So just to give you an overview where we are at right now, this is how it sounds. This is everything we made so far all together. So everything's unmuted basically. And the one sound we made, this low lead, is kind of acidy. So it kind of sounds like a 303 already because it has high resonance and it has a certain envelope. But it's a square wave and it's detuned, and a lot of the things aren't really what you would typically associate with a 303 acid line. All right, so first things first, new pattern, make it yellow because yellow is the color of acid. This is lemon lime, but it's fine. And just call this acid. And now we are going to open up another instance of 3x oscillator, our favorite plugin, and we are going to rename and color this as well, just to make it more just to make it more obvious what it is that we're working on. And first off, I think I'm just gonna do a very simple pattern of, I think, 16th notes, just so we can sculpt the sound with sort of a reference point. So if you play this, of course it doesn't sound like a lot because it's only sine waves and it's not, there's no tonal differences and stuff, but we're going to change this afterwards. Right now we're only going to worry about the sound design, the melody, and everything else we can worry about a little later. And as soon as we have the sound design done, we can of course then clone this and make a few variables, send it to different mixer tracks, distort it in different ways, and so on and so forth. But let's just get into it. So this is our unedited acid line. So first things first, I like to have it as a saw wave, yeah? And just have it one saw wave, because the original 303 from Roland, the original acid machine, only has one voice, so that's what I'm gonna use. Of course, this is loud and very awful. Always check this HQ so the oscillator's not aliasing, which is weird audio artifacts once it gets to certain frequencies. So yeah, that's the first part. Make it a saw wave and make it mono. Second thing, we are going to go straight into the envelope section, and we are going to do a filter envelope. Engage the envelope and just put this amount up. Then you can play with the attack. You can also do it the other way around, but I think like this is a little bit better, because what this means is that the filter envelope starts at the point you set here, and then it goes down because we made the amount negative. So if you remember, the envelope is going to modulate this knob now over time because it's a filter envelope. So at the start it will be low and then go up, but in this case we made it negative. So in the start it's at the value we set it, and then it goes down. All right, and this sounds like this. All right, and then the only thing basically left to do to make this sound more like an 303 is turn the resonance like way up. You can also try out different filter types. I'm going to pitch it down 1 octave, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna try if it sounds different if we use the decay. So now it's different. Now we start higher than this knob actually is, and it goes down. The problem with this is if we go high up, it just doesn't do what we want it to do. So let's go back down like this. All right, let's try different filter types, see if anything sounds better. Not really. Let's see this one. It's a bit much. I think I'm just gonna stick with this for now. We're not done with this sound anyways. So one more thing we can do is also add a volume envelope. Let's try that. I'm just gonna make it with decay. Make it a bit snappier. All right. And the next thing is just putting in a mixer slot. Let's put it here. And first things first, we are going to overdrive it. So that's a lot more 303-ish already. Then let's take away some of the low frequencies. Maybe also cut it off here a little bit. Scoop the mids a bit. And then the thing that really makes this kind of sound shine, because let's be honest, like the acid line with the 3x oscillator, of course it sounds kind of good, but you really can tell that there's just like something missing. But it gives you a lot of control over the sound, which is why I enjoy this. So with a bit of delay, we already sound like $1,000,000. Then let's also add a big reverb. And then let's see what this song needs melody-wise, because I think what's the word? Sound design-wise, this is a pretty good starting point. So we sound like a 303 now. It's fine. But of course the melody is not what we want it to be. Okay. So basically, just another quick overview. Open up 3x oscillator, make it mono, pitch this down, turn this up. Now you only have one oscillator, put it in a filter envelope, make the amount negative, play around with the attack and the amount until you like what you hear. Turn the resonance all the way up, play around with the filter, automate the filter later, put it in a mixer track, add distortion, high pass, delay, and reverb. And then you have this. Of course, you can also make it a little bit more uniform by adding a little bit of compression, which is something I like to do as well. This is getting pretty technical, but all what I want to do here is because if you go down with the filter, at some point this is getting, quieter. And I want the filter at this point to already be as loud as it is if it's all the way over. So all I'm gonna do here is put the threshold to where we are here, a little bit lower, and then the ratio like this. So the volume is more uniform. And then we can also turn this up a little bit and spread it a little bit. All right. So let's see what kind of melody we actually need from this song. Let's add the acid line here. Let's just make it Oh no, you can hear the washing machine. Yeah, if you're wondering what that weird sound is in the background, that's actually my washing machine. Oh, okay, doesn't matter. Let's see what we can do. Hey. Okay. Wait a second. Pitch it down a little bit. For this, I'm just gonna do this. Go in here. And very carefully. All right, fine. So what kind of acid line does this song need? And now we go into the territory of melody making. Just need to listen to this again. Okay. I have an idea for a pretty long pattern, which I'm just gonna try. And I think I'm only gonna use 16th notes for this. Give me 1 second, we are almost there. So this, of course, means I have to let's see if we can even make this lower. Not really. So I want to have a very minimalistic melody with just this rumble in the bottom, like taka 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 taka, and in the middle it just has to go like or something. Let's see. Just like making random changes to the length of these notes to switch up the rhythm and make the pattern more interesting right now. I don't really do this with a plan, I just try around and see what sounds good. For the melody that I just did, there's one thing I need to explain. A little bit of, tiny bit of, really small bit of music theory. So I'm using a scale here, actually, which is the Phrygian scale. And the Phrygian scale is basically your best friend when you're making techno, because it's very evil. Basically what it means is, so you have a bass note. Of every song, there's a bass note, which makes the mode. And in this case, this bass note is F sharp. And what the Phrygian scale has in it is the next, is a half step from the bass note. And that sounds really evil, especially if you spread it across multiple octaves. So this half step from the bass note is something that I love to utilize in every one of my melodies, basically. And especially if the track is evil, then use these notes. Like just playing it like this, you hear it sounds kind of good. And this is actually what I did with this pattern. So G is the half step. So I did F sharp G an octave up, F sharp an octave up, G another octave up, down to F sharp, then to C sharp, which is the fifth. Let's try this. I'm actually gonna try something different. To make this a little more snappier, I'm gonna change the note lengths in the piano roll like this. Okay, is there release on the... Yeah, there's release. Alright, let's try something else. The filter cutoff frequency. You can make accents with this basically. I'm just gonna click randomly now, see what it sounds. Okay, this is a bad idea. Okay. I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. So you get the idea. This is how you would make acid lines with 3x oscillators. It's not the best example. I don't really like how it sounds. But I think it's kind of good. But I think to keep it simple, it would be good to just use this part. All right. Okay, let's try something. I'm gonna make this polymetric. That's a lot better. That's actually a lot better. So yeah, this is a great way if you have a melody and you kind of like it, but you're not sure if it works in this way, just like pop it over into your playlist and then make something like this. Take the best part of your melody, repeat it, make it, just play around with it like it is a sample and you're slicing it up basically. It's like this weird kind of MIDI resampling-y shit. Really like this way of doing things. All right, we're already at 24 minutes and we only made one sound. I'm really slow today, so sorry about that. So this is our first acid sound. I think I'm gonna do something different here. It's really harsh actually, so let's tone it down a bit with the overdrive. And a little more delay. All right. Okay. This is our first sound. I'm happy with this for now. Let's make the second one. Okay, second one is also using 3x oscillator, but it's not a traditional acid line with like fast repeating notes. Like this is how it usually goes. This is more a long drone kind of deal, you know? Of course, you can also slow this pattern down. Of course, you can also make something like, for instance, something I really like to do as well is just take a pattern like this, make it unique, go into the piano roll, mark everything, and then go like, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to make this to 10, it would have to go... Wait, I have to think about this. No, this should be fine if I do it like... Oh, shit. Yeah, like this, exactly. Now it's basically the same melody, but it's half time. So we have this. Also something you can do. And something else that's also great, you have control over slide notes. We could make, for example, we could make this a slide note. Let's try that, actually. So make this a little shorter and just make it a slide note. Let's also make this a slide note. Nice. Okay. And in context. All right, nice. Okay, next sound. Let's get back on track. We are 30 minutes in, and I've only shown you one of the sounds. So, next one. We are creating a new pattern, and we're going to call this acid drone. And we're going to make this an orangey color. So, acid drones basically is something that I also do a lot in my tracks. It's basically a long note which kind of sounds like a 303. And for example, Ling Ling is an artist that used to do this a lot, at least. I don't know if he still does it a lot. He makes like this whale, like whales singing sounds with 303s, with a longer envelope. And when I tried to replicate these sounds, I used 3x oscillators at first. So that's how I came about doing this kind of sound. Was basically just trying to copy Ling Ling, to be honest. But what I do here is, as you can see, I just cloned the sound we already made, basically. And what we're gonna do is change this a little bit, but really only a little bit. The only thing we're going to change is we're switching off the volume envelope, yes? And then we are going to make the attack of this longer and the decay. Yes, and now we can place notes like this. Or in the other direction, it's like this. Let's do this. Okay. So as a drone, it goes right there. And for the start, we're just gonna do one note, just as an example. Excuse me. Let's do something deep. And then what I like to do is try to get the length of the envelope right. So we have the filter going up and down in a way that's not like, because at the moment the envelope is too short. You hear the filter moving, and then at a certain point it just stays the same, like it's, yeah. So this is, it needs to be like twice as long. So we're just gonna try to notch this in the right direction until we get it a little bit longer. That's actually perfect. That's actually perfect. We're going to keep it like this. And now the trick you remembered from pads, from the pad episode, we have to make this sound more evil. So let's create a slide note like this. Let's make it higher. All right, so that's the first thing, just a drone. I think I'm just gonna keep this as the low note. And oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And of course you can play around with the LFOs in these. This is like a great way of just like creating something like now I'm in the volume and LFO. And if I set this to 2 steps, with the amount all the way up, you have a pretty easy volume gate. Or make it faster. Nice sounds. Of course, you can also do this with the filter envelope, which also sounds amazing, actually. This is also a sound I really like. I'm gonna keep it, actually. Also, let's try changing up the filter on this now. Because this SVF LP X2 filter has this really weird distortion effects in the low end, which sounds like this. I love it. All right, I'm also gonna pan it with an LFO. Let's see. All right, nice. And one more sound. The same thing, but basically higher up and with a melody. So we are going to, how are we gonna do this? Let's just make it acid, long, mellow. All right. Nope. Whoops, we already cloned this. Perfect. We're going to get rid of these. There we go. Change the filter again. So I'm just trying to hear a kind of melody in my head that would fit this. And I have sort of an idea, but it sounds a lot like a lot of melodies already did. So I'm just gonna try showing you a little cheating method of how you can create melodies. So what I talked about before, the Phrygian mode, what it actually is you have the notes E, yeah, and then you play all the white keys up to the next E. And this is what the Phrygian mode basically is. So I'm just gonna try creating a melody with slide notes, because then the envelope just plays through all the notes and we have this nice detuned effect. So let's just try utilizing all the white notes of the Phrygian scale in a way that makes a nice melody. I'm just gonna click around randomly actually for the notes in the Phrygian scale and just see if we come up with anything. Let's see if that sounds like anything. I actually like it until this point. And I think we can just do something like this. So we have it go up to F and then just a slow slide down to the E, back to the E. And also here, I think, slow slide. Okay, now that's... I like that. It actually has like this sort of rhythm in it, like this. Okay, let's see how this sounds in our actual key, because we're in F sharp. So our envelope is a little bit shorter, and maybe, just maybe, we'll do something like this. This is really harsh. Let's try to dim it down a little. I'm putting it in its own mixer track first of all. Then we're just gonna use maybe not even any overdrive. Let's just see how that sounds. Get rid of all of the bass. Maybe a low pass here, just to roll off these nasty frequencies up here. and this is also peaking way too much. That's better. Adds a lot of delay. All right. Also gonna play around with some LFOs again, just checking real quick. Okay, still recording. Yes. So what can we do here? I think a little bit of pitch LFO would be nice here, just to like detune it even more. Maybe even have this like, if you do a really fast pitch, excuse me, LFO, it basically becomes a vibrato. And this sounds like very ghostly. So let's try that. Of course, that's like a little bit too much Scooby-Doo. Just gonna turn this. Maybe like this, but with an attack. So if you add an attack to these envelopes, that basically means that the envelope comes in slowly over time. And that sounds great for drones like this. Okay, that's too long. Very subtle, like it. Also panning. Yeah, panning. I want to make this go back and forth. Let's try. So I don't know if I said this yet, but it's very basic information. Panning, pan stands for panorama. It means left and right. So if you're not wearing headphones right now, you're probably not hearing anything of this. Basically, it pushes the song from the left ear to the right ear and back and forth. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a very harsh sound there. Let's try to make this a little, so it's here, it's 7,485 hertz. 7,400, and yeah, that's probably good. Just take this and put it down a little. Nice. All right. Good job. Good job. Think that's good. Let's see it in context with kick, bass, and snare. Little less reverb and delay is in order. Okay, actually, I think this melody needs an A part, because this sounds like the B part of a melody. And what I mean by that, by A part and B part of a melody, is actually question and answer type of deal. Because in melodies, a lot of the time there's some kind of there's a melody that asks a question, and then there's a melody that answers that question. And with this like call and response kind of thing, you can create melodies that are a lot more closed off, because this sounds like it's ending something. You know, the end of course, this in itself is basically a question and an answer, for but very shortly. You know, this is the question, and then it answers with this. So maybe, for me, it just like is question and answer. It's too fast. So there's two things that we can try here. Number one is the trick we did with the acid drone as well. Wait a second. Let's do it like this. Make this unique and make it twice as long. Take this and pull it out till here. Wait. That's actually absolutely not what I wanted to do. Okay, I actually saw something. This is not... All right. Now we can. Just pull it out till here. Make sure it's right here. And then let's see how this sounds if it's like 2 bars long, basically. Whoops. So of course we also need to do this. Yes, I think in this case this is not the way to go, because this is way too long. It just makes the song seem slow. We can maybe use this for a part in the song later when arranging, but I think the better way to go about this is just make an A and B part of this melody. So we keep the second part the same, and we change up the first part in a way that is less conclusive, basically. Okay, let's see. I think that's probably pretty shitty, but let's see. Actually gonna use this note, I think. I think that's probably good. Let's just see how it sounds together with the other part. Wait, there we go. Actually, I like that. That's kind of good. I think it's too drony, actually. So maybe do a little bit like. That's okay. That's okay, actually. Okay, so that's the three acid sounds we have now. We have this, hello, this, we have this. All right, these are the three sounds we have right now, and So this is how you can use 3x oscillator to make like acidy sounds. Long acid drones and also traditional, semi-traditional acid lines. So now, make another pattern, call this, transistor acid. And make this an even darker orange, just to be able to tell it apart. And then we're going to insert the wonderful plugin, which is Transistor Bass. And this is the surface of it. And if you just press play here, of course, this sounds a lot more like a 303. It's like basically indistinguishable. And I highly recommend this plugin because it just helps you, especially if you're stuck and you don't know what kind of acid line you want. Basically, you can just press into the piano roll, and all of these are basically preset patterns in the sequencer. So you can just go. I love that actually. So let's try out this one. Let's see if it works. Just making this longer and just putting it in. Let's see. And sounds good, but it's not in the right key. So let's turn it down to F. So with this tuning knob, I like to do this. You can also transpose it here, I think. Let's see. So that's the quick way, of course. You just use a preset and you work with this. So first of all, some ways to quickly alter a preset and make it more interesting. First of all, make it polymetric. Polymetric, of course, means that the length of the pattern doesn't match the length of the bar of your song. And the length, this is the 16th, this is like all the steps. We have a 16-step sequencer. And we can change the length of this to, for example, 12. So now it repeats every 12 steps. So it goes to here and then it repeats again. And that sounds like this. Kind of cool, but not what I want. Let's go to 6. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so what I did here is just made the pattern start from the beginning at certain points to change it to what I want it to be. And now we are almost there, I think. Actually, I think I'm gonna do this. That's fucking cool, oh my god. I love it. Okay, so this is a little bit too harsh for my taste. Let's first try the other waveform. Let's turn it a little bit back. Let's make less drive and turn the high pass down. Hello? Ah, it's saving, okay. Oh my god! I'm just trying different things. Okay, no. Okay, you can also make it a little bit more blocky, I guess, with this gate length knob. This gate length basically determines how long each of these steps is. Okay, now a quick explanation what all of these do. This is the waveform, and all the way to the left is a pulse wave, and all the way to the right is a saw wave. And this is just different kind of timbres. You can just switch it through and see what you like more. I think somewhere here is good. Like to keep it in the middle. Cutoff is self-explanatory. It's just a cutoff of the filter. Resonance is resonance, as in every filter. It basically pronounces or what's the word? Do you hear the wasp? There's a wasp in my room. What the fuck? Okay, this basically makes the part of the filter that the knob is pointing to a little bit louder than the rest, and so you have this effect. If I turn this off, if I turn it up, this is basically what makes an acid line an acid line, so you should keep it in the second half at least. If I turn it halfway down, it's still a cool sound, you know, you can play around with this and create all sorts of cool sounds, as it doesn't always have to mean that the resonance is all the way up, you know. Of course, that's the most chirping you can get. The birds will like it. I like to keep it at like 90%, 90 to 95. I almost never put it all the way to 100 because I just think it's too much. Then the envelope mod knob. Basically changes the range of the cutoff envelope. So if this is all the way down, this determines from where the filter is actually snapping down from. Yeah. If I turn this all the way up where the cutoff is all the way down, you will still hear the high portion of the filter if I turn it all the way up. Listen to this. Whereas if I turn it all the way down, the filter isn't moving a lot at all. So if I do this, and then I turn it up, okay. Decay determines how fast this filter envelope snaps down. So if I turn this all the way up and turn down the decay, you get almost like this like snappy percussion sound. I like to have the decay somewhere here and the envelope in the middle. Accent determines, there's accent steps in the sequencer down here, which are highlighted. If there's like this thing on a step, that means this step is accented. And the accented step have a different kind of filter amount than the rest of the steps. So if I turn this up, the accented steps will have the filter more open or closed, determined by how I turn this knob. So it's these two. It's like the bum whoop, bum whoop, bum whoop, bum whoop. Now it's gone. Have the accent like up a lot if you use accents in your sequencer. It's nice. I don't know what all of these do. I gotta be honest. I have no idea what all of these are. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I know this is also kind of like the gate length, but weirdly different. It's basically a release of a volume envelope. I have no idea. The only thing I know is that this key flow thing, cutoff key follow, basically makes the cutoff more open in general. And I think it also means that it depends on how high the note is. So higher notes will have more open filters. I think that's what key flow does. All right. So this is what all of these do. Of course, distortion also. I'm gonna switch off the delay in here because I'm gonna edit myself later because I don't like the built-in effects here. So the distortion also, it has high pass drive, tone and volume. The tone, what does the tone do? Yeah, it's basically the higher this is turned up, the more high frequencies is in the distorted signal. The volume, of course, is just volume. And there's also a HP, stands for high pass. This basically means that before the signal is being distorted, it goes through a high pass filter and then goes into the drive. So if I turn this all the way down, you can hear that also the bass is being distorted. If I turn it up, you can get this really nice distorted signal where only the treble basically is getting distorted, and it is a much more cleaner sound. I think this could be a little more aggressive, so let's just... So perfect. Okay, now put this in a mixer track and just high pass it. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with something like this. Always like to boost. This is really, really easy to remember. If you have like a bassy asset line which you want to like be a little more rhythmic, it's a 303, so boost that frequency, boost 300 hertz, 303 hertz, just like see where it is, and just boost this 300 hertz range a bit. It makes it a little bit more punchy in the low end without taking away from the bass, because this is exactly the frequency that we cut away from the kick bass, basically. So we have room here, you know. We took something away here, so we can, it's saving something. Why is it doing this? This is only doing it when I record. Okay, so we can put something in here. And also you can merge this a bit even. So it's not stereo, it's actually inside. Okay, a little bit of delay goes a long way. Make this a bit stereo, turn the wet really much down. Perfect, even less. And reverb, presets, cathedral, low cut up, high cut up, decay down, wet down. Perfect. Okay, now we have this. And of course, one thing that I didn't explain right there is how to build your own asset line with transistor bass, because now I just used the preset and tuned it, transposed it so it fits. You can also, of course, let's just clone this, keep it in the same mixer track for simplicity's sake. You can go into the presets and just open an empty preset like this. Go into the piano roll, put down the note, and now you have an empty instance. It's just like the sequencer is just this, you know, and you can choose to either use the internal sequencer or you can switch the sequencer off actually, and then you can just place notes in the piano roll like you usually would. So you can do, this is, of course, you can also do that. I would recommend getting into the sequencer though, the built-in sequencer, because it's great. So you place a note down. Let's transpose it down to F, which, how much was it? It was -6. Let's go -6. Okay. And then what I would recommend is starting with slides. Yeah. The slide basically means that the step you put the slide on is going to slide to the next note. You hear that? If I put a slide here as well, it's gonna slide all the way through here. And now if I change the pitch of these, you can actually hear the pitch going up and down again. So that's what you can do with slides. You can go really crazy and just make one note with only slides, put the decay all the way up, and I guess do something like this. Just fucking... Also can sound really good. Mr. Gasmas does a lot of that, actually. Only not with this, but with an actual, you know, 303. Okay, so... That actually made a cool pattern. So we're just gonna see where we can put the slides and accents. Let's just click randomly anywhere. As you can see, also without the preset, you can pretty quickly put something down. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let's just do this. Alright, so we're done for today. This was a very, very long episode. My throat is getting sore. Nice water. But yeah, this is how I make my acid sounds. Is there anything else I have to add? I don't think so. With this, actually, we're basically done sound-wise, I think. I think in the next episode we can actually go into arrangement and maybe a little bit of mix down even. But all in all, we have a lot of different sounds now that we can make parts with. You know, we have this. Okay, let's unmute everything. We have this one. We have this one. We have this. Lol, that's actually the two different patterns. We have this. We have this. We have this. So there's a lot of things going on. We have the Lufthansa. So we have the percussion and drums done. We have the kick bass done. We have atmosphere done. We have lead synths done. We have pads done. That's the one thing that we have pads done. We have weird sample shit done. We have choir done. We have acid done. That's basically more or less all the sounds that I use. One thing I forgot. It's one thing I forgot. This is gonna be also done next episode. Next episode is going to be that one sound that I didn't show you how to make. It's really easy, so it's not worth own episode. And mix down. And with that said, I think we are ready to do some stuff here. But now this is really hard to play live because it's not all in the same pattern. So yeah, I kind of fucked up. Don't know how I'm going to jam with this. Let's just see where this goes. Okay, so thanks for watching. I know it's been long, maybe a little bit chaotic, not as much as last time probably. And I'm going to see you in the next episode where we're going to be talking about mixdown and arrangement. Maybe only arrangement, probably only a bit of arrangement. And I can already tell you that the episodes about arrangement will be very hard for me to explain because it's kind of like with melody, like you see me writing melodies. It's like not something that I really think about. It's just something that I do, and you just try around until it sounds great, basically. I'm just gonna tell you a few quick tips on how to few quick arrangement tips that you can utilize. But yeah, for now, as I said, we're done now. Let's start with this. What? Can you stop? Okay. That's weird. Ah, come on. guess that's it then.